Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the IB preview. I'm Mr. Edward Baxter. I'm the IBDP coordinator here at KDU International School. I've been doing the job for 3 years now. Really enjoy doing it, and I'm really looking forward to welcoming some new students in September 2020, and hopefully some of you will be able to join me here as well. What I'm going to do this morning is just run through an introduction and a preview of the program itself. It'll probably take 15-20 minutes to do that, but as we're going through, do please note down any questions you may have for me, and then we can address them at the end. It's a very open session, and basically we're here to help you answer any questions that you may have. So there will be a moment for you to share just with me at the end of this session, but then at 11:15 there will be some students online as well. And the students are the people who are really good at understanding and telling you all about the program because they've been through the program themselves. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a few slides to talk you through the program itself. And like I say, do just make a note of any questions you may have and we'll talk about them later. Okay, so first of all, I'm aware that some of you may be tuning in because you're not entirely sure what the IBDP is. It's a growing program throughout the world. It's not particularly common here in Malaysia at the moment, but it's growing and it's becoming more recognized in different universities, particularly in the UK, in the US and in Australia. Okay, the International Baccalaureate Diploma program is often shortened to IBDP. It's a 2-year educational program that's primarily aimed at 16 to 18-year-olds. So basically what happens is students will often do their IGCSEs and then they will come to do the IBDP with us. And we also have an intake from our national school as well. So some of the students will do their SPM and then they will come over and do the IBDP as well. It can accept students who are 17, 18 years old as well as just 16 too. And we do accept some students who are 15 as well, depending on how they've been educated before they come to the school. All right, what's great about the programs, it really does provide an internationally accepted qualification for entry into the higher education. It's recognized by many universities worldwide. All right, so like I say, the university situation, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's very, very good for getting into some of the most popular universities across the world. Okay, so the structure of the program itself, these are the subjects that we offer here at SCIS. The IBDP does offer many, many subjects, but we've offered these ones traditionally because we recognize these as the subjects that are most appropriate for the students here in Malaysia and here at KDU International School. Okay, so there are 6 groups. And basically what each student has to do is choose one subject from each group. So you can see here, all students study English A, language and literature. We place a really important emphasis on English here at the school. As an international school, we like to really push that forward with our students. If they are from a different background, we also have the options in group 2 to carry on studying. You can see that you've got Chinese B, Malay B, as well, so the students can build on their prior knowledge with that. In the group 2, you can see there's a difference between the languages. So you've got Mandarin ab initio and you've got Chinese B. Ab initio is when you learn a language from the start. So if you've never studied a language before, this is your opportunity to learn something totally new. So a lot of our students do that with Spanish because they want to learn a European language and they will find it really useful in the future. Some of the students have limited Mandarin knowledge, so they will start with ab initio, but those that have studied, let's say, Chinese as a first language at IGCSE, they will go and do Chinese B in group 2. So the language subject choices can be quite complex given your background, but that's something we can guide you on, no problem at all. Group 3, we've got economics, geography and history. Economics and geography are usually very popular subjects, in history too. Group 4 are sciences, so we've got the traditional sciences of biochemistry, physics, and we've introduced recently design technology and computer science because we're recognizing that as the program is expanding, students would like a diversity of subjects as well. Also, we have got in Group 5 maths, analysis and approaches. Generally, that's recognised as a more harder level of maths, and then maths applications and interpretation for those students who want to study maths at IBDP but don't want to take it any further into university. And then in Group 6, what we've got is we have visual arts and we have music. These subjects are essentially, it's optional to take a subject from Group 6. All right, so you may decide if you want to go into medicine in the future, you don't want to take a subject from Group 6. What that means is you can take 2 subjects from Group 4. So a lot of our students will therefore do bio and chemistry, biology and chemistry, to really help their applications for medicine. Likewise, if a student wants to do law at university, what a lot of them will do is history and geography from Group 3. So that arts section at the end is actually very optional, if you like. So again, we try and tailor it for each student, what they want to do, and we try and fit into their subject choices as best we can. Okay. Like I say, it's quite a complex situation, so do write down any questions you may have, and our students can really help you answer those questions later on as well. All right, and aside from those traditional subjects, which we have here on our groups 1 to 6, what really sets the IBDP program apart is the core of the program itself. So if any of you have seen the diagram of the IB program, basically within the center of it, there are 3 things. And the first thing is the extended essay. So this is a 4,000 word research project, which the students choose to do in a subject of their choice. What we tend to advise them to do is do it in the subject they want to study at university. So it shows they've got a really good background to that subject, they've got a really good interest in it, and they've done some extra research. Then we've got creativity, activity and service, commonly known as CAS. This is a really fantastic part of the program in that the students will do activities outside the classroom. So what we've done over the past 3 years here at the school is we've worked on a Cambodia fundraising project to the students, raise money to help a community in Siem Reap, and basically they help a school raise some funds to pay for a teacher for a year. So they pay for a teacher's salary for a year, and then what we will do in the July is we go and visit them, and our IBDP students get to teach the students in that school, and they get to interact with those students, and they really get to help build something in that school as well. So we've actually built a bike park for the students because they all come to school on a bike there. And we've also built some access roads to the school too. So it's a really, really worthwhile program for the students. And then theory of knowledge. This is taking students learning to another level. So basically, this is helping the students with their critical thinking and thinking about how they know what they know. These 3 elements of the program are what sets the program apart from A-levels, okay? Because traditionally students would do 3, perhaps 4 of these subjects and take them to university as their A-levels, whereas the IBDP, they do these 3 things on top, and they are really, really detailed and really, really well recognized by universities. It's what sets the students apart from other applicants. All of these things, so the traditional subjects and the core, are bound together by the approaches to learning. So we've got thinking skills, communication skills, social skills, self-management skills, and research skills. And it really helps the students broaden their way of learning, and we try and meet these meet the criteria for the students to develop these skills across the 2 years. So they're going to be interwoven throughout all the subjects here at the school. All right, so just a little bit more detail about the subjects the students may choose. In the IB program, they have to cover 6 subjects from here. Okay, so I spoke a bit about the groupings earlier, and that's all really clear on the options forms that we give to the students. But basically, they need to choose 3 high-level subjects and 3 standard-level subjects. And the high-level subjects are the ones that you want to take forward in the future. And I would say the standard-level subjects are ones that you're interested in, but you you will use them to make up the rest of your IBDP. So let's use medicine again as another example. If they wanted to go and do medicine, I would recommend that they do biology HL, chemistry HL, and one of the maths high levels, okay? And then they could make up the rest of their program from group 3, so they could do economics and then a language, Mandarin perhaps, and then English, okay, at standard level. So you need to think about which subjects you take at high level, which will give you the best chance of getting into that university course at that stage when you come to apply. Okay, all right, like I say, do you remember your questions? I can answer them later, no problem. All right, so why would you choose this ahead of the A-level programs or ahead of the matriculation programs you have to different Australian universities, which I know are very common here in Malaysia? All right, basically the structure of the course enables to study a wide range of subjects. So rather than keeping that narrow field that you have from A-levels or from your OSMAT courses, basically you can still choose right up until your second year what you're going to do after the IBDP. All right, it's really good for students who are unsure of their next step going forward. All right, the CAS element of the IB allows students continue with things like sports and service learning, fundraising, and completing those activities that they enjoy outside of education, well, outside of their main education subjects, right? We also really encourage the students to kind of push themselves outside their comfort zone and think about something new that challenges them. I know a lot of the students, you can talk to them later, started doing ice skating in some of the ice rinks here. I think it's somewhere Pyramid and at the Curve as well. So there's some really good options for them to get into to push themselves further. I think the IB program produces people who are ready for university and who are ready for the world. And if you compare and have a conversation with a student that's done A-levels in comparison to a student that's done the IB, you will notice the difference. I would really encourage you to talk to the students at 11:15 a little bit later. All right. What it also does is encourage the students of all ages to consider both local and global issues. Okay, so as a geography teacher, I really get the students to think about their subject on a local level, so how it affects them, but then how their actions are going to influence people outside their own sphere of influence and across the country. What we've also got here is it will develop a multilingual student, which is great because I mean, a lot of students already come into the program here in Malaysia as multilingual students already. And what it does is it really validates that learning that you've done and those languages that you can speak with recognition at the end of the course as well. All right, so a lot of parents often ask me why you should choose SCIS, so Sri KDU International School, rather than one of the other IB schools across the city. Basically, we get some of the best results in the city, and we've got 8 successful years teaching and delivering the IB program. Okay, it is a really tight-knit atmosphere. It's really nice to have a small cohort. So we limit our cohorts to 25 students. It really allows personalized and focused teaching and learning, so it's great. So often these classes will have 6 or 7 students in them. It really gives the teachers enough time to focus on what the students need to do, give them personalized feedback, and really enable them to improve on the work that they're doing. And it's one of the things that the students really appreciate when we do our surveys with them and ask them what they would like to improve and what was good about the program. They also always talk about how well it works having small class sizes. All right, so our teachers are used to having these small class sizes and used to teaching them in a really detailed, personalized way. What this does is it creates a great family atmosphere. We've had one of our IB tutors has been here a very long time, 8 years, and she will look after the incoming cohort here in September 2020. Very, very experienced and very good at what she does. And she is an expert teacher. She's Malaysian, but we also have some a wide variety of teachers from across the world. So I'm from the UK, some of the teachers in the past have been from Canada, the US, Australia, so we get lots and lots of different experiences and lots of different levels of expertise. All right, and then lastly, what we are is loyal to the motto, Malaysian hearts and global minds. It's the school motto, and basically going from the local to global concepts really puts us in a good place to meet the school motto there, and also one of the IBO mission statements as well. So I think we're in a great position to deliver a really, really good program. Okay, so obviously the most important thing for the students at the end of the course, or one of the most important things, is going to be their results here at the school. We have got, over the past 3 or 4 years, or 5 years, our 3-year average has been really consistent. And last year we enjoyed our best 3-year average and our best average for a very long time. So we've got here, these are our last results in May 2019. And the school, or the students, averaged 36.2 points. All right, so just to explain a little bit about what that means, if you look at the information at the bottom, you can see each subject that they do is worth a maximum of 7 points. All right, so the students take their 6 subjects, and therefore that equals 6 multiplied by 7 is 42 points. So 42 points are available for the students from their 6 subjects. And then the 3 remaining points are comprised of a combination of theory of knowledge and the extended essay, okay, which gives you a possible total of 45 points. So if you look at the column on the right-hand side, you can see that the world highest score you can possibly get is 45 out of 45. Now, one of our students last year in 2019 for the first time got 45 points. He's going to be, unfortunately he's not available today, but he is called Max, and he is a very, very, very good student, as you might expect, and we were so proud of him to get those 45 points. We have got another student that's joining us later, who actually got, I think he got 51 points or 52 points because he did an additional subject on top of his 6 subjects. So we've got some really, really high achieving students from here at SCIS. Now, if you look at other numbers, our average was 36.2 out of 45 points, okay? And if you're thinking, okay, why haven't we got higher and closer to 45? What you just need to consider is the right-hand column, the world average for point scores out of 45 is actually 30 points. So you can see we are over 6 points higher than the world average in terms of points scored. We were really, really proud of our results last year, and our results for this year come out on July the 6th. So we're really hoping for something special coming from our current level of students as well. Now, what we do after the students get the results and during the IB program is we provide a really well-structured and really well thought out pathway to universities for the students. Okay, so we provide a lot of support in terms of writing their UCAS applications and their applications to US universities, Australian universities, and so on. And the IB is great, focused academic study, broad and balanced curriculum, which universities really, really like. The curriculum allows IB students to acquire many skills, and then many students have been accepted into prestigious Russell Group universities in the UK, and some on scholarships. All right. In terms of where the students have ended up, this is a bit of an overview for you. I believe we've had over 100 or maybe 150 graduates now from the IB program here at SCIS, and this is just a range of where some of the students end up. So starting with Arjun there, you can see in 2018 he got 35 points out of 45. And he's a good illustration of a student that's got an average score for the school, but he is still able to access a course, Economics and Finance, at the University of Leeds. All right, so it's a really good university in the UK, and getting that point score really enabled him to access that. What we also have here, one of our most interesting courses that Ida went to here, she went to study political sciences at Georgetown in Washington, which is a fantastic achievement for her. And then we've had a student go to Cambridge, you can see with 42 points. Melissa, who will be joining us later, she got 44 points, and she's going to do, well, she's doing biomedical sciences at the University of British Columbia. So generally our students will end up going to either the UK, the US, or Canada. Max, who got 45 points last year, he has had a gap year and he is going to Yale in Singapore. So it's a really good point, a really good place for him to go to, because I believe he's thinking of going to Yale in the US after he's done a year in Singapore. So lots and lots of different options for the students. I mean, the most common courses they end up going on are generally engineering and biomedical sciences, but we do have students going off to do geography, development studies, in chemistry and all that type of thing as well. All right, so a broad range of options for the students. So I'm just coming to the end of this now. So we have got a couple of options of what to do next. All right, so speak to people and ask lots of questions. So it says here the IB students at 11:15, like I said, we'll be online with the IB students, so do join us for that session, because they'll be able to give you a lot more from a personal point of view on the program. Teachers, that's me, Mr. Baxter. If you do know some of the teachers, if you're maybe in year 11 and you're thinking about joining us, do talk to your subject teachers. You can talk to your subject teachers at your own school as well. And then we have our marketing team that you need to register with to show your interest. Okay, so there are 25 places available each year, which do fill up very quickly. We've got 16 filled, I believe, this year already. So there's only 9 places left this year. So do get in touch with the marketing team when you can. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. Does anybody have any questions? So we've got 5 more minutes left of this session. If you do have any questions, do type them into the chat, please. If we do have any Mandarin or Korean speaking inquiries, do contact the host in a private chat and share your details with them, because I don't speak Mandarin or Korean.
Mr. Baxter, hi, this is Anurag.
Hello.
I'm exploring admission for my son and daughter both. They currently study at British International in Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
And thanks, again for a fantastic session. I can say that's quite impressive seeing the results, past results of the students and where they have got into after the school. Just one question, because the children have been studying in British International for almost 10 years now. There are 2 related things. One is it a good decision in your mind? Do you think that if we consider this option of moving them to KDU from British, because the formats are almost the same, at least till secondary. And the second one will be, is Malay compulsory language, because they haven't done it in last 10 years until now.
Yeah, okay. So in terms of Malay, that is not a compulsory subject that they need to do. So I'm just flicking back to the options that we've got here. So what they all do, they will all do their English in group 1. And then in group 2, they can choose one of the language subjects here. So they don't have to do Malay at all. They could choose to do Spanish or Mandarin, depending on their language background. In terms of the move from BSKL to KDU, I would base that decision on the program. So I know the students do A-levels over at BSKL, and what I would do is really think hard about whether your son or daughter really wants to do the IBDP, because if they do, we can offer them a really, really great education over here in terms of the academic side of things, as well as the CAS program as well, which of course really sets it apart from the A-level programs too. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Baxter. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Does anybody else have any questions? Yeah, like I say, I think the students are the best people to answer your questions, because they can talk all about their decisions they made and what led them to choosing to do the IB program. They are very, very good at answering questions too. So do join the next session at 11:15. I think what we might do then is close now, because there's only 1 minute left. And if you, does everybody have the Zoom link? Yeah, so everybody has the Zoom link to the next session, and I will see you there at 11:15. Yeah, the marketing team will share the Zoom link for you. All right, thank you.